Mama, welcome to the Mrs. Mummy PhD podcast. I am your host, Dr. Michelle Gibbs, and this podcast exists to help scholarly mamas like you to achieve your life and academic goals without sacrificing what matters most. Here, we're changing the overwhelm, juggle, struggle narrative around what it means to be a mama on an academic journey to one of empowerment, fulfillment, and purposeful success. So how do we successfully navigate these journeys? Well, first, we need the space to embrace this unique blend. Let's begin by saying yes to creating a life that feels as good on the inside as it looks on the outside, because that's when we truly become purposefully whole. So get ready for the most non-traditional, unconventional, and revolutionary approach to PhD motherhood, because one thing I have learned over my many years of experience on this journey is that if you want something different, you have to do something different. But you must be brave enough to think differently first. So, Mama, are you in? Fabulous! Let's begin. These are our journeys of becoming. Hey Mama, welcome back to the podcast. Oh my goodness, this is the final episode of this podcast for 2024, which I cannot believe I'm actually saying that. I don't know about you, but this year just seemed to have gone by so quickly. And I'll talk about this a bit more as we go on in this episode today, but compared to last year just felt like it dragged on and on and on, and this year felt the complete opposite. And there's a couple of reasons why that is. You know, the old saying of time flies when you're having fun. Maybe there's some truth in that, because this year was a much better year, I have to say, for myself than 2023. So in this episode, as it's the last episode for the year, I thought I would reflect on the 7 surprising things that made my year in 2024. And before I get into that, I just really wanted to caveat and say that it's okay if all you did, you know, as you are watching people on social media share all their wins for 2024, all these amazing things that have happened, it's okay if all you did for 2024 is get through it. Just get through it. Just finish the year with gratitude and whole. That is enough. It is enough to just have gotten through and survived the year. That's in some regard how I feel, because I haven't had any massive breakthroughs this year or any, shocking wins and surprising massive wins to share. But the things that really made my year were so simple. They were so simple, and they were the things that got me through what for everyone potentially has been a tough year. So let me begin with the first surprising thing that made my year in 2024. I say surprising, but maybe it's not that surprising. The first thing for me on my list is our family holiday to Barbados. We went to Barbados in August, and it was the most amazing time. It was the most amazing holiday. We had so much fun. We built so many incredible memories together. It was just amazing all round. Our family visited from various places as well, so it's a little bit of a little reunion, I suppose. And it was so nice to spend all that time with my family, my gran, my dad, my mom, my aunts, my cousins, and my friends, my husband's family as well. It was just so nice to have everyone there. And part of the reason why they all came there was to celebrate the Doctors in PhD graduation party, which I talked about back in episode 75. My PhD graduation plug, the Doctors in celebration dinner. So if you haven't listened to that episode, please do tune in, or you can just read the blog post that's associated with that episode. But yeah, that was the highlight of our year, partly because 2 years ago when we visited Barbados, we all ended up with COVID and had to isolate, didn't really get to spend as much time with our family, even after having traveled all that distance. And so this time it was really nice just to connect and just spend quality time with the people that we loved. And it was so amazing. The boys had so much fun. In fact, all they keep asking us is, when are we going back? When are we going back? So they had so much fun. We did lots of activities and just shared so many new experiences together. And of course, the highlight was the doctors in the celebration dinner and just being able to really celebrate my PhD culmination, I guess, with the people that have been a village to me during the 8 years of my PhD life. And so that was really, really nice. And that was one of my highlights. Okay, so the next surprising thing that made my year in 2024, again, like I said, these are not huge wins. These are not like big groundbreaking things, but they're just really simple things that mean so much to me and made my year. And so my husband and I celebrated 18 years of marriage this year, and we always joke with each other and say, oh, like our marriage is officially an adult. But it's been amazing. We've had the most amazing time in our marriage together, and to have reached that milestone of 18 years of marriage is huge for us. Mainly because we both grew up in divorce homes, and our parents were, separated, divorced for the majority of our lives. And to grow up in a home where you are navigating that, you're navigating your parents breaking up and navigating everything that comes with a divorce is really hard on any child. And so for us to be able to not just be still together, but still be madly in love with each other and to give our kids that gift, it's just been so amazing. And to wake up every single day and choose each other and choose to put in the work and commit to each other has been the most amazing blessing. And so to celebrate 18 years of that this year has been the most amazing milestone. I am so grateful for my husband. He is my rock. I believe I am his too. We did talk about marriage and Black love in a previous episode. I believe it was episode 19 for part 1 and episode 20 for part 2, where my husband is a guest on the show and we talk about all things marriage and love and Black love. So if you haven't listened to that episode, do tune in. But yeah, that just reaching that milestone with him and sharing that experience together has been amazing. God has really blessed our marriage. We are so grateful. And, one of the really amazing things is to hear, I know certainly both my parents have expressed this to us, that, we are a role model for them. We're a role model for them in terms of love and marriage and their own navigating their own individual relationships. And for me, that has been so beautiful to hear your own parents who themselves are divorced, who, didn't have a quote unquote successful marriage, be able to come back now and reflect and watch and observe your marriage and observe you and your husband grow in love together, and to say what a beautiful thing you've got. And we admire you, and we, have so much praise and admiration for you both. And to hear that has been just amazing. So yeah, 18 years of marriage has been a huge highlight for 2024. The third surprising thing that has made my 2024 has been my job. My role has been amazing. As you know, I started a new role back in January of 2024, and it has been the most amazing thing. I was actually chatting with one of my good friends this morning, and I was saying to her, because she's navigating a difficult time with work and it's a very stressful situation. And, she knows my experience with that. I had a really tough role and I was in last year, and I had to make a decision to walk away from that and to choose myself. And I look back on that and I'm so proud. I'm so proud that I did that, because what it did was it opened the door for opportunities to come to me, opened the door for me to kind of clear the noise and the cloud of that bad experience, and to really open up the floodgates essentially for blessings, for satisfaction in work. And that has been a real eye-opener for me to have been brave enough to make the decision that I made, and how it has just turned into the most amazing opportunity. And so I have been enjoying work. I have been really thriving in my role. I am in a leadership role now and I really love it. And I have made the most of it. And I am so grateful. I have the most amazing team and I have just been enjoying every bit of that. So yeah, that has been a highlight for 2024 for me, for sure. Okay, so the next surprising highlight of 2024 for me, this is going to come as no surprise, was my PhD graduation. And as you know, back in July, I officially attended my PhD graduation. As you know, I had my PhD Viva last summer and passed with no compulsory amendments, which was amazing. And so I actually received my degree on the 1st of October officially, but then attending graduation was an optional extra. If you wanted to attend, you could. If you didn't have to. I initially had planned to attend my graduation in January, but I kind of opted against that in the end because I didn't really want to attend a winter graduation. I kind of preferred to just wait until summer and, have the warm weather to enjoy my graduation and just be outside and take photos and all that good stuff. So I opted not to attend the ceremony in January. I rebooked and I attended the one in July of 2024. And so, yeah, it was really lovely to do that because it ended up being the warmest day of the year, which was amazing, although it was sweaty and hot. But it was still nice to have had that warm weather. And also, I think the other highlight from that was I received a prize for my PhD thesis, and I was so grateful to have achieved that. I had no idea that I was even being considered for that. So to be nominated and awarded this prize, I was it just kind of reiterated for me that navigating my PhD the way I did was the right decision and it was the right way to do it. And I didn't have to give in to all of the traditional expectations of, putting my family to one side in order to excel in my PhD, but I was able to blend my home life, work life, and PhD life without losing myself in the process and without sacrificing what really matters, and still be recognized for that, still be recognized for excellence in my work. So I was really, really impressed and really happy and really grateful that that was the culmination of an 8-year-long journey of my PhD. And the other reason why I really enjoyed attending my PhD graduation was that I have 5 degrees, as you know, and I attended my first degree, which was my undergraduate degree in New York. So I attended that graduation ceremony and that was amazing. I had my family there. It was so lovely to kind of experience that moment, being the first person in my family to attend university. And so that was amazing. But coming along through the other degrees that I have done, so 3 kind of like postgraduate level degrees, I never bothered to attend any of those graduation ceremonies. And I just didn't see the point. And I think I was in a phase of my life where I was not like overly, I wasn't so big on like celebrating everything. And, for me, it was just another degree. Okay, yep, distinction, that's fine. It's all good. Moving on to the next thing. But now, having gone through my experience of doing my PhD, having had the awakening and the, awareness that I have now in starting my blog, starting my podcast, and all the things that I share with you on here, one of the things that I really wanted to do for 2024 was to really celebrate bigger, celebrate more and bigger. And so the reason for that is having lost our good friend 2 years ago to cancer, as you know, I'm just like, no, Michelle, life is really fleeting. And we really need to celebrate ourselves more. We need to, just as much as we celebrate other people and other people's success, why can't we celebrate ours too? And so this year I decided, no, I'm going to really make the most of everything and every experience. And so the PhD graduation was the perfect way to do that, to celebrate my PhD journey, my scholarly mama journey, my journey to purposeful success. And that's exactly what I did. And my PhD graduation ceremony back in July was exactly a reflection of that. And I am so incredibly grateful for that experience and the memories that we created, and the boys being there to see me walk the stage and to see me celebrate, the culmination of what has been an incredibly difficult but life-changing experience. And yeah, so that's number 4 on my list. Okay, three more. Okay, so the 5th surprising thing that made my year in 2024 was attending the international conference back in Canada in June. This was wonderful. I really had the most amazing time. I talked about this conference back in episode 67. So if you haven't listened to that episode, feel free to tune in. It wasn't just a conference that really, made me enjoy this experience. It was the fact that I had a lot going on at that time. So I had lots of MSc dissertations I was marking. I had a huge grant application I was working on that was taking and consuming lots of my time and energy. I had the conference to prepare for, obviously day-to-day life, the kids, sports days, you name it. It was all happening back in June on top of regular work life as well. And for me, being able to go there and represent myself and my work that I, from my PhD, and to just share that with such positive reception, I felt really proud of myself for being able to do that. And even though the trip coming back was a bit of a nightmare, flight cancelled, ended up having to go through America and the whole works, and the trip ended up being very different from what I expected it was going to be. It was still lovely to go there and, on my own. My family didn't come with me, and just really do something for myself. And that felt really good to do. Yeah, just having that experience this year was really another positive way of celebrating the work I put into my PhD. And I just wanted to say, actually, on the back of the conference trip, that I remember I said I was working on a huge grant. I ended up not being successful in that grant. And I wanted to bring that in because I don't want this to just be the wins that I'm celebrating. It is also possible to celebrate the losses, to celebrate the times that you didn't win, but you learned something. And being able to, as hard as it was to hear that I didn't get that grant, that research grant that I was applying for, and I wasn't successful after I'd put in so much work into that, the effort wasn't lost because I was able to learn a lot about myself. I was able to learn that this idea is worth pursuing and I can still pursue the idea. I just need to apply other places and, create other opportunities for me to be able to do the work that I want to do. And so that has been really, really useful as an experience for me, that even though I didn't win the prize, even though I didn't get the outcome I wanted and desired, I still learned a hell of a lot about myself. And that will certainly take me forward to the next grant application I submit, the next time I apply for funding, and it has been helpful in so doing. So I was actually awarded a smaller grant since then. And I give thanks for that because, again, it just shows the persistence of, you may not win the first time. You may not get the outcome the first time you try, but it doesn't mean it's not worth pursuing. And so if you are in the situation where you're navigating your PhD, you're applying for funding, you're applying for grants, or you're applying for even a PhD and not being successful or not getting the outcomes that you want, don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged, because if you don't win, it doesn't mean you cannot learn from the experience. You cannot apply the lessons to the next time you have a similar experience, or be able to support someone else when they're navigating that experience. So no experience is ever wasted. And that's something that I've learned this year, I've been reminded of this year, especially, even though I did not win on that occasion. So I just wanted to mention that. Okay, so the 6th point that I wanted to share around things that made my year in 2024 was some amazing coaching clients that I've had the privilege of working with. Now, I have embarked on this mission of helping scholarly mamas to blend family life, work life, and doctoral study without losing themselves in the process. And I'm very much committed to that mission and committed to that effort because I wish I had that when I was in the throes of the juggle struggle of PhD life, mum life, work life, everything happening all at once. And so being able to support mamas who were navigating this journey as well this year has really opened my eyes to not only the importance of this work and just seeing them grow in confidence and them giving me the amazing feedback that I have been given about how I am as a coach, how it is to work with me, and the fact that they got so much out of our sessions together. That has been so rewarding for me, so incredibly rewarding beyond words even. And if you are in the midst of your PhD journey as a mama with a home life and work life and commitments outside of all of that, it is hard to juggle all of that, but it's okay to seek support. It's okay to hire a coach, to work with someone who has been there, who gets it, who can help you build your confidence, really blend all these aspects of yourself in a way that doesn't cost you what matters, that doesn't require self-sacrifice, so that you can actually go ahead and achieve both your life and academic goals. And this whole idea of burning ourselves to the ground, overworking, trying to be perfect in all things and being all things to all people at all times, it doesn't serve us. And so we need to be brave enough to recognize, look, this is what I really want in my life. These are the things that matter to me. I'm very clear on my priorities here, and I am going to pursue those with purpose. I am going to really maximize the support I have available and make the most of these opportunities so that I can actually achieve what I want to achieve in life. And so if you have been looking for a coach, if you're looking for someone to work with who gets it, who understands this journey, feel free to book a discovery call and let's chat. Let's see if we are a good fit to work together, because I would love to support you through whatever stage you're at in your scholarly mama journey. And that is my purposeful work. I am here to serve you and I cannot wait to work with you. So make sure you go book your free discovery call and let us get 2025 off to the best start possible. And then the final thing that has made my year for 2024 is really just being creative with Mrs. Mummy PhD and Scholarly Mamas, which are my brands, and also Doodle Dozen, as you know, and just really opening my eyes to various ways we could work together, various ways that you can wear your whole self purposefully. And so one of those, as you know, is our brand new shop, which is open. If you go to mrsmummyphd.com/shop, you can see various merchandise there that you can purchase to wear your whole self purposefully. And in so doing, I've also continued to be consistent with my podcast. That has been growing steadily. I'm so proud of that and proud of the consistency that I have put into it, because it means something to me. This work is very important to me, and I know it's important to others. Those of you who tune into this podcast every single week, I am so grateful for you. Thank you so much. And of course, we also launched this year focus co-working sessions where you can come with your very long to-do list and we can tackle that one little task at a time, work together for 90 minutes and help you get your work done, help you stop procrastinating and actually get things done. And also, of course, we've got our optimum coaching. Like I said, if you really want to work with someone who gets this journey, feel free to book your free discovery call at mrsmummyphd.com/coaching. And so, there's going to be some new and exciting things coming in 2025, all things Mrs. Mummy PhD and Scholarly Mamas, and I cannot wait to share all of those with you. But these have been the 7 things that have made my year in 2024. And I have been spending loads of time in the last few days really reflecting on all things 2024 and all things 2025. I'm setting goals and putting things in place. And I really just want to remind you that, there will be things that will take priority this year. Some of those things we may not know as yet. Who knows what's around the corner for any one of us, right? But I really want to encourage you. This is the time to set your intentions. Set your intentions to 2025. You cannot control everything. We have to relinquish that control, but you can set goals, set intentions, and take action, small, bite-sized chunks towards those goals. And I cannot wait to kind of explore so many exciting things with you on this podcast in 2025. So until next time, Mama, I am sending you so much love and so much gratitude, and I wish you the very, very best for 2025. Take care, Mama. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to the Mrs. Mummy PhD podcast. I hope you've enjoyed the episode, and if you did and you want in on this movement, please head over to mrsmummyphd.com or scholarlymamas.com. If you want to do your PhD well without sacrificing yourself or those you love dearest, then you need your hands on my free training called the PhD with Purpose Maminar. When you join us inside Scholarly Mamas Explore, you'll get access to this free training and so much more. Remember, Mama, these are our journeys of becoming.